Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadramai, Jaya Sudarshana. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadramai, Jaya Sudarshana. Jai Radha Shama Sundara, Shama Sundarade. Jai Radha Madana Mohan, Radha Madana Mohan Radhe. Jai Radhe, Jayo Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jayo Shri Radhe. Tagora Haribo, 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 Haribo. Tagora Haribo, 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 Haribo. Jai Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Jai Gurudev, Prabhupada, Gurudev, Prabhupada. Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Privrachakacharya Ashtotra Shrimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki, Ananda Gauri Vaishnav Vrinda ki, Namacharya Das Thakur ki, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैधाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त I go premanande all glories to some devotees, glories to some devotees. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudhiraye. Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtayi. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah. Nama Pangajanabhaya Nama Pangajamaline Nama Pangajanetraya Namaste Pangajangre. Mukam karodi vachalam pangam langayade giring Yatkribhatamaham bande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Paramananda Madhavam. Hare Krishna, welcome back. So reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 6, verses 24 to 26. So we'll read the verse 24 now. Sa nishchayena yoktavyo yogo anivirna chetasam sangalpa prabhavan kamam stektva sarvana sheshadam manasevendriya gramam viniyamya samantadaha. Sa nishchayena yoktavyo yogo anivirna chetasam sangalpa prabhavan stektva Sarvan Sangalpa Prabhavan Kamam Tektva Sarvan Asheshadam Manasevendriya Gramam Viniyamya Samantadaham. Sanishchayena Yoktavyo Yogo Anivirna Chedasam Sangalpa Prabhavan Kamam Tektva Sarvan Asheshadam Manasevendriya Gramam Viniyamya Samantadaham. Hare Krishna. Okay, Rekha Mataji. Read.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tanishchayena yoktavyo yogo anirvana chetasa. Sankalpa prabhavan kamas tyaktva sarvan asheshataha. Manaseva indriya gramam viniyam samantataha. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Renuka Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sanishchayena yoktavyo yogo nirvina chetasa sankalpa prabhavan kamam त्यक्त्वा सर्वान् अशेषतः मनसैव इन्द्रियाग्रामं विनियम्य समन्ततः
Niyamya Samantadam.
विनियम्य समन्ततः. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Rekha Mataji can read the translation.
Okay. One should engage oneself in the practice of yoga with undeviating determination and faith. One should abandon without exception all material desires born of false ego and thus control all the senses on all sides by the mind. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Text 25. Shanai Shanai Uparame Buddhya Dhriti Grihitaya Atma Samstam Manakritva Nakinchidavi Chindaye Shanai Shanai Uparame Buddhya Dhriti Grihitaya Atma Samstam Manakritva Nakinchidavi Chindaye Shanai Shanai Uparame Buddhya Dhriti Grihitaya Atma samstam mana kritva na kinchidavi chintaye. Renuka Mataji.
शनै 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 शनै
Uparamed. Uparamed.
उपरमेद बुद्ध्या धृति गृहीतया आत्मसंस्थां मनः कृत्वा न किंचिदपि चिन्तयेत्. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Rekha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Shanai Shanai Uparame Buddhaya Dhritaya Atma Samstam Manaha Kritva Na Kinchittapi Chintayet. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Okay. Renuka Mataji can read the translation.
Gradually, step by step, with full conviction, one should become situated in trance by means of intelligence, and thus the mind should be fixed on the self alone and should think of nothing else. Hare Krishna.
26. Yado yado nischaladi manaschanjalamastiram tadastado niyamaida atmanyeva vasham naye. Yado yado nischaladi manaschanjalamastiram tadastados niyamaida atmanyeva vasham naye. Yado yado nischaladi manaschanjalamastiram tadastado niyamaida Atmanyeva vasham naye. Yes, Rekha Mataji.
Yato yato nischalati manaschanchalam astiram tatastato niyamanekat atmane eva vasamnaye. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Renuka Mataji.
Yado yado nischalati manaschanchalam astiram tadasto
Niyamaitat
Atmani eva vamshanayet. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Rekha Mataji can read the translation.
From whatever and wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one should certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the self. Hare Krishna.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagada Mahyam Dadadi Swapadandigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udavadagamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamstam Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sagana Raghunathanvidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalidam Vishagaamidam Cham He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Bando Jagalpade Govesham Goviga Kandam Radha Kandam Sudhi Taptaga Anjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhan Sude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpadrubescha Kripa Sindhu Vyevacham Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhi Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshtarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shadvaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Sa Nishayena Yoktavyo Yogo Anivirna Chedasam Tangalpa Pravans Kamam Stektva Sarvana Sheshada Manasaiva Indriya Gramam Viniyamya Samantada. One should engage oneself in the practice of yoga with determination and faith and not be deviated from the path. One should abandon without exception all material desires born of mental speculation and thus control all the senses on all sides by the mind. So, the last verses, we have seen how the yogi has attained realization, self-realization, how he's realized himself by his pure mind. That's what is given. Ita chaivatmanam pashyannatmani tushyadi. By his pure mind is able to realize the self which is in his heart. And how he became pure, how the mind became pure? By the yoga seva. Yoga seva, as far as this chapter is concerned, yoga seva means dhyana yoga only. But from a very practical angle, we can always say it is devotion. It's devotion only, because actually the purpose of dhyana yoga is to focus on the Paramatma, and without the sanction or mercy of Paramatma, you will not be able to realize yourself. Patanjali makes it very clear. Patanjali means, he says that samadhi sthiti ishwaraya pathayanti. It depends on the Ishwara, God depends on the God. The perfection in samadhi depends on the Supreme Personality only. Without the sanction, without the mercy of the Supreme Personality, you will not be able to realize yourself. So ultimately, dhyana yoga is devotion only. Without devotion, no process can ever succeed. But bhaktas, especially in Kali Yuga, we followed the dhyana, bhakti yoga, primarily chanting the holy name. One is focusing, you are trying to see the Paramatma inside you. Another one is hearing the God's name. Both the process ultimately ends in purifying your heart. So once that purification is there, the self derives immense pleasure for the fact that we are part of Krishna only, and that immense pleasure cannot be compared to any material pleasure. This is Sugam Atyandigam. This is the ultimate pleasure, ultimate Ananda. Rasam, Rasamale, Rasam Hi Evayam Labdwa Anandam Bhavadi. Taittiriya Upanishad says, Rasa, all the rasas are contained in Krishna only. And once you partake the part of Krishna, then Anandam Bhavadi. You become happy, you become blissful. And this Sukha is experienced through purified intelligence and purified senses. So this is experiencing. One experiences the Ananda. Otherwise, there is no meaning for Ananda. Unless you experience it, how will you know that there is Anandam? So one who experiences is an experiencer. So it naturally, very naturally, obviously, and naturally means that it says on individuality only. So every individual ultimately individually realizes his own Atma, soul. It's not that I realize or somebody realizes and he realizes everyone. Everyone has to individually realizes Atma and experience the pleasure. And once you reach that state, there is no kind of point of deviating from that point. You will now come down because now you'll not be attracted by these small pleasures which is offered. Because as long as you are in this material world, you're still in this material world, every attractions will be there. The person who is rejoicing in the self is not at all attracted by these petty pleasures which is offered by the secondary nature of the Supreme Personality, Bahiranga Shakti. No way he'll be deviated from this. Neither he derives any pleasure from material objects or material situations or material persons, nor he suffers from that also. So he says, Yam ladva chavar labham manyande nadigam tada yasmin sido nadukhyena gurunabi vichalyade. Of course, outwardly, if you are in difficulty, you'll seem to be suffering from maybe diseases, from accidents or anything like that. But internally, he's not suffering at all. He doesn't want to change his position. So this is actually what yoga is all about. Tam vidya dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga samhita. Dukkha samyoga means association or union with misery. Yoga means severing this union, cutting this union. Well, the person, the living entity is now in association with the Prakriti. He becomes very miserable. And through the yoga, he gets detached from this misery. So this is what is yoga all about. So first one is the two aspects of a successful completion of yoga. One is that you get detached from material misery, and two, you get attached to Supreme and enjoy the bliss. It is not sufficient that you become detached from misery. Many people think that, okay, once the misery is terminated, comes to an end, this is an end of it. No. There is a positive side also. Just because the negative aspects have come to an end, that is not the end of it. There is a positive side, which is that you are enjoying the bliss of enjoying the self, understanding your real position as a humble servant of Krishna, and rejoicing in that. But how you reach that position? Sa nishchayana yoktavyo yoga anivirna chedasa. How you reach that position? By consistently, dedicatedly, 100% effort in yoktavyo. Yoktavyo means practicing that. You have to practice this. Yoktavyo. Sa yoktavyo. This yoga has to be practiced with that anivarna chedasa, without deviation, with determination. It is not easy to reach that state. It takes a lot. So much conditioning you have over the millions and millions of birth. So one fine morning, just because you started the yoga, your devotion service, doesn't mean that overnight you're going to be relieved from all these kalmashas. No, that is not possible. So Srila Prabhupada quotes from Nectar of Instruction, Budeshamardam, Utsahan Nishchaya Dhairyat Tat Tat Karma Pravartanat. So this is attitude of the first three is attitude of the devotee. Utsaha Nishchaya Dhairyat. There should be enthusiasm, there should be determination, and there should be patience. And that should be prolonged over long period. It should be consistent. It's not that you start something, you become very enthusiastic and very determined. You just start this process, and after some time you're meeting with some problems, hurdles, and your spiritual life is not moving very nicely according to expectation. Then you become disheartened. These are attempts in the Rajogun. Like Krishna says, it's not very easy. See, first step is that you have to get detached from matter. Second step is that you have to get attached to Krishna. So both of these require a great amount of effort. So this the first part, this part says Sangalpa Pravan Kamans Tektva Sarvan Asheshadaha Manasaiva Indriya Gramam Viniyamya Samantadaha. You have to what we should abandon without exception all these kamas, desires born out of this indriyas by controlling these senses by the mind from all sides, from everywhere, all aspects. Desires can sprout from any point. So you have to control all the senses. In second chapter, it says even if you leave one sense alone, it can create havoc. So all the senses have to be controlled all the time. So the first part is how to get rid of the Vigalpa. Vigalpa, so there is Sangalpa and Vigalpa. Sangalpa means Sangalpa and Vigalpa. From the material aspect is that Sangalpa means you hanker from some objects. You like to have some objects. You feel that this should happen. I should always win. I should always get some awards. My children should always perform very well. I should pass in all the exams. This Vikalpa means I should not have sickness. I should not fall ill. I should not fail my examinations. Nothing wrong should happen in my career. My children should not have any problems. This is Vikalpa. So this is a material life. This material world is like that. You always hanker for something to happen, and you always fear that something bad should not happen. And ultimately, there is only misery only. So this is born out of desires, material desires only. So these material desires have to be controlled. So this is the first aspect. And the second aspect is given in the next verse. Shani Shani Uparamabe Buddhya Dhriti Grihidaya. For this you need a very steely and very clear intelligence, determined intelligence. Now, intelligence is what gives you conviction. Now, you should be convinced through the study of scriptures that this material life is giving you a problem only, and the only solution is to worship Krishna or surrender to Krishna only. This is a solution. And that depends on how strong this conviction is, that you proceed, you become successful in your devotion life, on your spiritual life. First, the mind, the intelligence should be very clear. Intelligence should be convinced. Intelligence is one that determines there should be firm conviction through intelligence. In the words of Shastras. So, Shastras are directed at the intelligence of the living entity. So, when there is intelligence, when intelligence is completely convinced, then you start this yoga process. If the intelligence is not fully convinced, you are not fully convinced, then you feel when you meet with these problems, actually you need this patience, enthusiasm, determination. When the result is not coming as per your expectation, or it is getting delayed, you again slip back to worldly affairs, which shows that the intelligence, your conviction is not very strong. Now, it is not simply enough that you are totally convinced. You have read the scriptures very well. You have completely understood Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, all the scriptures, and you are totally convinced. But then, this kind of dirt in your heart has to be removed. Because the dirt in your heart, although you may have acquired this knowledge, the scriptural knowledge, you're still not able to proceed nicely in your devotion life and ultimately realize yourself because of the dirt in heart. So this dirt in heart has to be cleared, and for that only we have to chant. And in this case of Dhyana Yoga, execute this Ashtanga Yoga. This is meant for purifying your heart. Now, purification of heart is progressive. It is as much as you are surrendering to Krishna, As much as you are getting attached to Krishna, to that extent, our heart will be purified. So the scriptures tells you the present condition and the solution. And when you're fully convinced, you have to execute this, and by executing, your heart is purified. So the mind and heart, the mind and intelligence is purified through proper study of scriptures under the guidance of a spiritual master. And same under the guidance of spiritual master, when you execute the devotional service of chanting the Harim, the Navadha, primarily chanting, then the heart is purified. So like that, the first step is that you get detached from matter. Second step is that you get attached to Krishna. The problem is both these require a lot of determination. It is not easy job. And when that, as you say, when you are in Dajoguna, your resolution is not very strong, then ultimately again this material hankering comes up. Then you lose, you slip away from, deviate away from Krishna. Again, this material desires overcome you, and that is very, very natural. So the mind is used to that only. Mind is always conditioned by the material hankerings. And even though you may be engaged in this yoga process, still the mind will again hanker for. So that is a step 3. First step is you are detached from matter. Second step is trying to get attracted to Krishna. And third is again you are slipping back to the worldly affairs. Then the sadhaka loses his heart. When he says, oh, I have done so much sadhana, I have chanted so much I have done, and still now I am not clear, I am not purified, and I am getting a lot of material desires. Everything is happening same as before. Nothing has changed. All these things they will become. For that only you need determination, utsaha, nishya. So again you have to possess. When you sleep, first step, second step, third step, naturally you do it. Again you have to repeat the first and second step. Then again the third step will come. Again you'll wander. So this is continuously has to be done. That is what Krishna says, yedo nischalati manas chanchalam astiram tadat tado niyamedat atmanyeva vasham nayed. From wherever and whatever the mind is there, the mind is getting deviated, you bring it back to the process you are engaged, whether it's Ashtanga Yoga or whether it's chanting or Hare Krishna Mahamantra Bhakti Yoga, again bring it back. So this is a struggle. This is a real struggle. So that's why Krishna, Srila Prabhupada has given the example of this little bird. So little bird laid its eggs on the seashore. The ocean washed it off, brought it down to the depth of the ocean. A little bird, when he comes back, she sees that there is no eggs. So somebody told the ocean has taken your eggs. She goes to ocean and says, okay, ocean, you have taken my eggs. Give it back. Give them back. They are mine. It's my children only. You give them back. Ocean just laughed at her scornfully. So the little bird said, if you are not doing that, you're not returning, I'm going to dry you up. Oh, you're going to dry me? How? I'll take your drop of water from my beak and then spit it out. And it will dry you up. Then she started that. So people started laughing. And the little bird said, if I'm not able to do it in this life, I'll do it in the next life. So this is a determination of the little bird. So the news spread, it reached Garuda, the king of birds. He came flying down. He saw his little bird in action. He was very happy seeing this bird continuously taking the drop and then spitting out, again going back, again taking, again, without stop. So Garuda asked Ocean, okay, now you return these eggs. Otherwise, I'll take up the job of the little bird, and started flapping his wings. And when Garuda flaps his wings, all the water will be dried up in no time. So ocean became very frightened. So the ocean returned the eggs to the little bird. So when you are very determined, very rigid practitioner, not caring for, fall downs, occasional fall downs. Fall downs will always be there, always. We don't care for the fall downs, but get determined and get firmly, rigidly doing your practice. Krishna will definitely help us. Shankaracharya's spiritual master, Gaudabada, he compares this process as, again, drying the ocean by taking the drops from an end of a kusha grass and trying to dry this ocean. Abhidikhed, I said, but he said that you should not feel detached, disheartened by this effort. So the mind is always fluctuating. It always again try to bring us back to material form. It tricks you at a feeling that what mind is thinking is actually our own thoughts, our own feelings, although we have nothing to do this. Mind again drags you to material mire. So how my mind does it? H.G.Satyavrta Thakura, he gives example. He sets up, the deviations which occur while you're practicing this yoga. He classifies these deviations into 5 groups. The first group, the first one is called laya, sleeping. This happens early morning, you get up, taking bath, or before taking bath, you start your chanting. And every possibility is there that you doze off. You chant of some time, and then you sleep, and then you shake it, wake up again, start again, doze off. Continuously happens. This is called laya, the first obstacle. Second one is that you are not sleeping, you are alert, you are chanting, but many thoughts come to you. Very mundane thoughts, ordinary thoughts. What has transpired today? What has transpired yesterday? What you are planning for today? All those things, maybe what has happened long time before. What happened when you meet your friends, old friends sometimes. Yesterday when we were going for collection, we met some of our old friends. I had some exchanges. And when you are chanting, when you're thinking about these exchanges, this is mundane thoughts only. It is deviating you from your chanting. And this is called viksheba. Viksheba. Mundane thoughts that is passing through your mind. The third obstacle is that neither you are sleeping, no mundane thoughts are there. You are chanting, but there is no taste. It's a dry type chanting. Pratipatti, no attachment is there. So apratipatti. Pratipatti means attachment, affection. Apratipatti means no affection. You don't have taste in chanting. You're simply chanting. It becomes very dry. And then what happens? Again, very strong thoughts will come. Some negative thoughts, angry, something happens and you're angry with somebody. So that obstacle is called kashaya, fourth one. And sometimes sensual thoughts come in. That is called rasavada, fifth one. So this deviation in mind can be grouped under any of these heads. These are actually the heads. There are no other deviations. Acharya's H.G.Satyavrta Thakura is enumerated this very detail in his Bhakti trilogy, Madhurya Kadambini, book called Madhurya Kadambini. So these are the deviations which prevent you from chanting or exercising your process. So in the both Dhyana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, the process is first you get detached from matter and then you get attached to Krishna. The method is studying Bhagavad Gita. So this is directed intellect. This is common for both Bhakti Yoga and Dhyana Yoga, Jnana Yoga, whichever yoga you process. So first knowledge should be there based on scriptures. That clears your intelligence and mind, but the heart has to be purified. So the heart has to be purified. Ashtanga Yoga, Dhyana Yoga yogis, they follow this Ashtanga Yoga process. Jnana yogis, they focus and meditate on Brahman by reading so many scriptures. Again, try to meditate on that. But Bhakti Yogas, Bhakti, we depend on Krishna. Directly depend on Krishna, and Kali Yuga, the direct process is chanting. So we can see that the process is same. First is based on jnana, knowledge of scriptures, and second is purifying the heart. We shall give the result. And for that, this is the best process. Without doubt, the Bhakti Yoga, especially in this in the chanting of holy name, is the best process. And when your heart is getting more and more clearer, again, your intelligence also gets sharpened. So you'll be able to understand better also. So both philosophy as well as devotion is best performed in Bhakti Yoga only. So that's why Acharyas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu especially, and we have promoted this Bhakti school only. Unfortunately, we are in this school and we can derive the maximum benefit by understanding these scriptures very nicely, as explained by Srila Prabhupada, and very dedicatedly, very determinedly chanting the holy name. So that way, every one of us will be purified. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, chanting obstacles, sir. Fifth one, Prabhu. Fifth one.
What is that?
One, sensual thoughts, sir.
So there is Rasavada.
Rasavada.
Rasavada. Rasa means that is this one only.
Okay.
I mean sensual pressure. That rasa.
Okay.
So Sankalpa and Vikalpa and chanting is that. Sankalpa means you will hear the holy name only. I will listen to holy name only. I will not do anything else. And Vikalpa means I will not allow any other things to come in. Sankalpa and Vikalpa in the material sense, we have explained the Sankalpa and Vikalpa in the spiritual one. While you are chanting is that Sankalpa means we are determined that we will continue to listen only. I mean, very, very clear. I mean, attentively listen to the mantra. That is our Sankalpa. Vikalpa means we will not enter any other thoughts. Atma samstam manakritva na kinchita vichintayet. Verse 25, second line. Atma samstam manakritva. The yoga means Atma samstam, focus on super soul and think of nothing else. In our process, chant the holy name, think of nothing else. So Vikalpa means we will not allow another thoughts to come. So Vikalpa is like a security guard posted outside the building. Suppose you are staying in a room. In room you are chanting, and Krishna is with you, and you are determined that you will listen that mantra only, nothing else. So there is Sankalpa 95% Sankalpa, 5% that we will not allow anything else to come in. So that is a security guard outside. As long as your listening is very strong, there is very little chance that outside things But of course, that is not the practical way. Our listening is not very pure at all. So always this thoughts will come. But at that time, the vikalpa should take place. That is why yado nishchari manas chanjalamastiram tado yamaydat atmanyeva vasham ye. So whenever and wherever, at whatever point the mind is deviating, you have to bring it back. So that is attention. This you have to practice very rigidly, very dedicatedly, and with complete understanding. Success will show up before. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Right, thank you very much. So, Mother, you can render Narasimha Kirtan.
Okay. Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlad Hiranyakashi Kodushaha Shilatankalakalaye Nasimha Karato Nasimho Yato Yato Yamitato Nasimha Vijaye Narasimham Harim Sharana Prapade Savakara Kamalavare Nakam Alpudashin Salita Hiranyakashipo Tanubringa Keshavadritanya Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Nasimhadev Jaya Nasimhadev Jaya Nasimhadev Jaya Nasimhadev Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Kallad Maharaj Jaya Kallad Maharaj Jaya Kallad Maharaj Jaya Kallad Maharaj Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari 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 Bol Ukram Piram Mahavishrum Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanabhadram Mrityum Namamaham Ukram Piram Mahavishrum Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanabhadram Mrityum Namamaham Ukram Piram Mahavishrum Jalantam Sarvatomukam Narasimham Vishanabhadram Mrityum Namamaham Shri Narasimha Jai Narasimha Jai Jai Shri Narasimha Prahladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa Shri Narasimha Jai Narasimha Jai Jai Shri Narasimha Prahladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shuddha Bhakti Vinashagari Shri Narasimha Bhagwan ki.
Jai.
Vaishnava Bhaktesh Pada Maharaj ki.
Jai.
Vancha Kalpadrupascha Kripasindhu
Vacha Patikana Pavanapi Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha.
Andakudi Vaishnava Vrinda ki.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Go Premanande.